Linda Taylor, The Taylor Solution. I'm an ADHD coach and consultant, and our topic today is to discuss effective decision making. And with ADHD, effective decision making can be a real struggle for people, as I've heard from my clients. And we're going to talk about 4 issues that can get in the way of making those decisions and, in a sense, abdicating your power. So the first one is deferring to others. And the reason for doing that is, you may not want to appear dumb, you really want to please other people, and you really don't want to make waves. Keep everything even-keeled. So here's an example of how that can work. You and a group of friends are going out for lunch. Everyone's asked, where would you like to go? And your response is, oh, I don't care, wherever. And you end up at a sushi bar. You hate sushi, and you've had to settle for something that doesn't please you at all. So a solution to consider is do a little research ahead of time and come up with 3 or 4 options that you can have in your hip pocket that you know would please your friends and would be a suitable option the next time the question comes up. The next issue is procrastination. People procrastinate for a lot of reasons. Perhaps it's because they're overwhelmed with the information. There's fear of the unknown. If I make that decision, what will the outcome be? You want to wait for the perfect time if you're a perfectionist, thinking that the longer you wait, the more perfect your answer will be. Or you just want to avoid criticism or shame. So here's an example. You'd really like to go back to school and take advantage of a timely tuition reimbursement offer from your company, as well as give yourself an opportunity to advance in the company. But you wait, and guess what? That decision is taken away from you because the offer goes away. So a solution is to give yourself a deadline of 3 days prior to when the decision is due. Gather all the information to address your questions, your doubts, your fears, and then do a pros and cons comparison. When you have that done, select one trusted friend that you can go over this with. And finally, ask yourself the question, what's the worst thing that could happen if I don't or if I do? And that question's a great one to help you out of any problem in making a decision. Issue number 3 is second-guessing yourself. So, that's kind of revisiting your inner dialogue over and over again. Sometimes we call it ruminating. But we want to make sure that we're confirming or affirming our decision-making with other people. And so we compare ourselves a lot with others. An example is that you've been offered a great promotion with more responsibilities, higher pay grade, and a lot more prestige. And you decide to go for it. And then you spend many sleepless nights worrying if you've made the right decision. What will your associates think of you? What would they do if they had been in this position? What will it be like to move to a new city? And on and on. So the solution is, you've already made your decision. And if you've used the 5 steps that I just talked about in making your decision, you've probably made the right decision for you. Looking forward and embracing your decision allows you to better prepare for the future, as opposed to being frazzled and overwhelmed by your conflicting thoughts. And finally, issue number 4 is you take it personally. And what do I mean by that? You seek a lot of advice from other people, and you struggle with whether or not their advice is the right advice or if you're on the right track. And this causes you to feel a lot of guilt and shame if you don't take their word for it. So here's an example. You've connected with someone who shares a lot in common with you, and you've decided to go to lunch together. You've made contact with them twice, and they haven't responded. And you're thinking, what's wrong? What have I done wrong? And so you discuss the issues with a number of your friends, half of whom say, just back away, don't bother to pursue this person. And the other half say, Would you quit stalking this person? They'll get back to you when they can. And you're convinced that the person just doesn't like you for whatever reason. So here's the solution. Remind yourself that you can't control others. You really don't know what's going on in their head. And in fact, they could be sick, or they could be busy at work, or maybe they just suck at follow-up. But it's really not about you. So figure out what you're best at making decisions at and where you need some help, and decide which solution would work best for you. And finally, if you do need help, please don't procrastinate. I'm here to help you, and you can contact me at linda@adhdtreatmentsolutions.com or on my website at adhdtreatmentsolutions.com.